Do you know which country is the largest recipient of foreign remittances? Hello, my name is Vaibhav Shanbag, and in today's video we'll be talking about yet another landmark achievement of our very own homegrown technology, UPI. But before we get there, let's first answer the very first question I asked in this video. And the largest recipient of foreign remittances is none other than India. Before we move further into this video, it's very important to understand what remittances are. Let's take an example. Let's say Amit, who is working as a pilot in Singapore Airlines and drawing his salary in Singapore dollars, wants to send some money to his parents in India. Whenever he does this cross-border transfer of money, it's called an inward remittance for India. Why this is important is because these remittances form part of our country's GDP. So this topic of remittance is important both from a macro as well as microeconomic standpoint. With that background in mind, now let's jump into the main topic of this video, which is linking of India's fast payment system UPI with Singapore's fast payment system PayNow, and it's absolutely a legendary move for both the countries. We all know what a legendary technology UPI is, and its unparalleled popularity and mass adoption across India is a testimony to it being a legendary. But the only drawback of this technology so far was that it was restricted only for domestic money transfers and merchant payments. But not anymore. With the linking of UPI and PayNow of Singapore, we have gone global and we can transfer money across 2 different countries, and UPI is now facilitating cross-border payments as well. In a recent news, India's High Commissioner in Singapore, Mr. P. Kumaran, announced that all the technological requirements to connect UPI and PayNow has now been completed, and the countdown has begun for our Prime Minister to officially launch it and put it out to public. But what is so special about this technology, and how is it going to impact all of us? Let's understand. In the initial part of this video, I mentioned that India is the largest recipient of all the foreign inward remittances. But did you know that as per the latest World Bank's report, the average cost of transferring money across the globe is at 6% of the amount transferred? So from an India's context, in 2019, when we received a total of $87 billion, we paid a whopping $5.55 billion, and in INR terms, it's 44,000 crores. Mind-blowing, isn't it? And now that we know there are so many hassles and high cost of transferring money from one country to another, this is where the cross-border payment arrangements like UPI and PayNow linkage will be a game changer for India as well as all us Indians. Now let's quickly discuss about all the benefits that this new arrangement of linking UPI and PayNow is going to offer us. Number 1, cost of transfer. As per the latest reports, the average expected cost of UPI PayNow transfer is going to be between 2 to 3%. Now this percentage is much lower compared to the global average that I previously mentioned, which is at 6%, and this is also within the range of the average cost transfer targets that have been discussed between the ASEAN countries. So each transfer is going to cost us nearly half or perhaps lesser than that. Number 2, convenience. Previously we discussed all the hassles of transferring from bank to bank and then using other transfer routes like Western Union or some other apps. But you all know how easy using UPI is. You just scan a QR code and it immediately shows up the recipient's details, and you just put in your password and done. A same thing will also be applied here in between UPI and PayNow. So for all the transfers from Singapore to India will easily happen using the mobile phone numbers of Indians, and all the transfers from India to Singapore will happen using VPA, which is virtual private address. In simple terms, it's nothing but your UPI address that will be used to transfer the money. So that's how easy and convenient it is going to be once this linkage happens. Number 3. This is where I'm particularly curious. There is no clarity based on my research so far, but I'll be pleasantly surprised if after this linkage, for all the Indian tourists who are visiting Singapore in such masses, and we all know how we Indians love Singapore, and there are so many tourists flocking to Singapore. But one of the major challenges is the payment. So usually we are using a forex card or our credit card, or we take hard Singapore dollars and make payments there. But with this linkage, if at all there is a possibility of us using our UPI apps like PhonePe or Google Pay and scan the QR codes, having the PayNow interface in Singapore and make payments directly, that would be a total game changer. And as per the report, it is said that there will be no additional charges applied whenever the currency exchange happens between Singapore dollars and Indian rupees. So the overall transaction cost, even in this case, will be reduced. But this is yet to see, it's not confirmed. Hopefully whenever I get more details about it, and I do plan on visiting Singapore early next year, so I'll do update on this part as well. Number 4, additional access. Similar to UPI and PayNow linkage between India and Singapore, Singapore has already linked its PayNow with ASEAN countries. So for example, Singapore has linked its payment system already with Thailand, and there are talks of multiple bilateral agreements within other ASEAN countries pool. So how this benefits us is that once we link UPI and PayNow, it will be very easy for our infrastructure to take a few additional steps and then link to various other ASEAN countries as well. So we Indians who are quite interested in going to Thailand, Malaysia, Cambodia, etc., we'll have the benefits of using this technology there as well. Number 4, growing popularity of UPI. In a recent news, the Benelux countries, which is Belgium, Netherlands and Luxembourg, plus Switzerland and also a few months back France, have entered into bilateral agreements with NIPL, which is the company holding the UPI technology, to use UPI infrastructure in their payment systems. With this, our homegrown technology is now going global, and soon we will be challenging the dominant SWIFT technology as far as cross-border payments are concerned. So countdown has finally begun for this legendary technology and bilateral linkage between UPI and PayNow. If you have watched this video so far, I hope you really liked it. If you did, please do click the like button, and if you have not subscribed to our channel so far, please do subscribe and show some support. I'd be very eager to read all your comments with respect to encouragement, and if there are any suggestions, please do leave it in the comments. If you want to know more about any of other finance related topics, please do leave a comment and I'll get back to you with yet another interesting video. That's all in this video. I hope you liked it. Thank you.